Loktar friends, hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, everyone's favorite orc warrior, and it's time for another orc mode workout. And as you guys saw from the video I did this morning on deloading, I'm deloading my squats. I'm going to drop down to just doing one single with 315 for about a week because my legs and my hip and everything else have to have it. We've gone 5-6 months without a deload on this training. That's a lot. That is a lot, especially at 41. So yeah, it's time to deload. I don't want to do it, but I feel like I have to. I've kind of reached that threshold. It just has to be done. And you know, it'll be good because by the time I get back to heavy squatting after a week of this, I'll be looking forward to it again. So we just have to learn to accept these things. You know, I thought it was interesting. I had someone, and you could tell they're new to training programming. They had said, well, why don't you just take time off? Deloads don't make any sense. It's like, well, no, that's not true at all. That's very well understood in the strength and conditioning world. Very well understood that deloads produce superior results to time off. They absolutely do, because you're not resparking any of the muscle protein synthesis. If you're not training, you're going to grow less. You're supposed to gain muscle during a deload, right? So in this case, I'm deloading basically just my leg work. My legs are supposed to grow. If you don't train at all and you don't disrupt homeostasis, you don't gain as much muscle growth during that recovery week when you deload. And you're not training the motor patterns. If you want to get good at something, you need to be doing it all the time. I would argue that during a deload, it's probably a good idea to do every important lift every day with just a much lighter weight and much lower volume. You need to train the motor patterns, the movement patterns. They need to be trained. Failure to do so, you're not going to gain as much strength or as much muscle as you should during a deload. Why even bother? You know, why bother to push yourself hard if you're not going to actually make the gains that you should get from it during your recovery period? It's just a waste. That's kind of the purpose with overreaching. You push yourself beyond your recovery limit, so when you do back off, you can make gains. But if you don't train at all, you greatly inhibit those gains. And that's been observed for decades by coaches and athletes all over the world. So no, deloading is what you want to do. And that's what I'm having to do there. But the benching is going great. Benching is going good. I decided, since, you know, I'm deloading all the lower body, I'm going to have more recovery. I added an extra set of bench today. Might as well, because my upper body is fine. My upper body's fine. It's not struggling at all. Now, you guys will notice it seemed like it slowed a little at the top on this bench when I get to this peak set, because I hit the upright. Or I hit the J-hook, actually. Near the lockout, I hit the J-hook. So I had to slide the bench back out another inch just to give myself another inch of clearance when I did my back off work. And it kind of sucked because I did a nice long pause and it was a really fast rep. It was all good right till the lockout. And then you guys see, when you watch it, you'll notice it kind of becomes off kilter just a little bit. You notice the bar path shifts right at the very top because I hit that J-hook. And I think I hit that left one. Yeah. If you saw it right there, if you saw the left side come up a hair slower than the right there at the end, and you saw it shift forward, that was because I hit the J-hook. And it happens. You know, and if had that been a true all-out max, you can get into trouble real quick. So fortunately, it wasn't. But yeah, back off work. I went ahead and did 4 sets instead of 3 today on this because, you know, I'm like, I might as well. I haven't seen the footage though, so I don't know what it looks like yet. So I'm going to see this the first time with you guys here. But none of it felt that bad. Moderately heavy. Like, it was all moderately heavy. I think my 4th set, either my 3rd or my 4th set, I think the last rep felt a little bit heavier. Like I was getting pretty fatigued. So we know by the end of it, I was definitely fatigued from the extra volume. I was definitely fatigued. So again, that's probably near my volume limits. Had I tried to do obviously more sets than that, it would have become extremely difficult at that point without reducing weight. But yeah, 4x3 after doing a 330 single, 5th day in a row benching. Even though I'm deloading the legs, this is coming along. It's my last day benching this week because we press on Saturday. But yeah, I mean, this tells me a lot. So it's day 5, right? With these weights on the singles and the triples. So the very last day, everything was fast. Everything was good. Nothing particularly grindy. And I did 1 extra set. Right? I did 1 extra set. So what does that mean? That means come Monday, we increase the weight. So I will go up to 232 and a half, sorry, 332 and a half for the singles, and we'll go to 292 and a half for the back off triples. So the bench is trucking right along. It's doing real good. As long as the other lifts are going as good. Well, the deadlift is. I mean, people have seen the only thing stopping me is my hook grip, because you guys watched me pull a while back. I just threw 575 on and pulled it really easy with the straps. So we know the deadlift strength is there. We know the bench strength is getting there. So now the squats just got to keep catching up. And like I said, you know, we'll get there. I'll get there. We'll be hitting 500 beltless eventually. And, you know, upward and onward from there. But, you know, again, it's going to be a lot of work, a lot of paying attention to my body, a lot of attention to the recovery. And I appreciate that I had a subscriber, an older guy, also named Jason, who came in and pointed out, he goes, what he's doing to be squatting and deadlifting heavy the way he is day in, day out at 41 without blasting a bunch of gear is actually really hard to do. And believe me, guys, there are times when I go, man, I wouldn't have to deload if I was go above my TRT dose. You know, there are times when I think that. But, you know, then I also have to consider the fact that my mother died of a heart attack at 48. You know, I got to think about that stuff. So, yeah, it just is what it is. You know, that's the thing, guys. That's really my only concern. If there were no health effects to anabolics, I would advise everyone to use them. Like, I would, if there were zero health effects, no health concerns at all, I would tell you you're stupid for not using them if you train, right? Just common sense. People, it's not about cheating. Who cares about cheating? Oh, you're cheating. Well, you guys use supplements. If you think supplements help you, that's cheating. Hell, using protein powder is cheating if you struggle to eat enough real food. It's about getting results. The problem is the health risks. That's literally the only problem. There is literally no other problem with them. There is no moral or ethical dilemma there. The question becomes, you know, not wanting to die. That's real high on my list of priorities. And it should be on your list of priorities too. So, you know, it is what it is. I decided to go a little lighter and do 2 sets of singles with the hook grip today. Let me just work on my hook grip. You know, it's like I might even not try to deadlift that heavy. I might stay under 500 pounds for the duration of this deload. I might even just go with the 425 and just do a couple singles with the 425 every day for my hook grip. So we keep training the grip and, you know, take it from there, because it felt good. The 425 was really easy for doing 2 singles today on my thumbs. It's like, man, they're getting used to this. So it might be what I do for the whole deload. You know, come in and just hook grip. And don't bother with any strap work, because I don't need to go heavier. I just need to recover, train the motor patterns, and I need my thumbs to continue to toughen up. So that's where I'm going to go with it. And I think that's going to be the way to go for the duration of this. It's going to be the way to go. And then I did some dead hang pull-ups afterwards. And yeah, again, pointing out, because that does come up, that I'm doing them with a pretty narrow. I'm actually at shoulder width. I'm doing them at shoulder width. And people wonder why. Because it creates the longest range of motion. The longest range of motion. I'm trying to get work done. I'm trying to make these taxing, right? This isn't about, hey, how many can I crank out? That's why I'm coming to a stop and doing a dead hang at the bottom. Yes, I am doing a dead hang. No, that's not bad for your shoulders. I'm sorry, it's not. Going wide is bad for your shoulders. So the people who are worried about things like a dead hang on a pull-up can tell you what's going on there. If you're hurting your shoulders doing pull-ups on a dead hang, you're gripping it too wide. And people need to lose that bodybuilder nonsense, that idea that if you grip wide, you build more width in your back. And if you grip narrow, you build more thickness in your back, right? You hear bodybuilders say absurd, stupid stuff like that. And it's like, what are you smoking? You need to share that with everyone else, whatever it is that you're doing. I don't know, it's killing your brain cells. You probably don't. But that's not based on reality, guys. And then you see, if you go read the bodybuilding magazines every few years, you'll get some guy who comes up and says the opposite, right? Well, actually, all the other bodybuilders have it wrong. What I've found working with my clients is that if you grip narrow, you build wide, and if you grip wide, you build thickness. You know, they'll change it back and forth on you, right? because they have to have put something new in the magazine for you. These dumbass bodybuilders, my God, guys, that's not based on reality. It's not true. Just so you know that. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.